Hello, my name is Jeff Ramsey. I'm the owner of Frequency Change Aviation, and I want to first of all thank you for visiting our website and for inquiring about more information about who we are and the process to obtaining a private pilot license. I put together this video as what I call an FCA FAQ to address some of the most common questions that we get from customers. So hopefully this will address those initial questions that you have, but certainly I'm open to answering anything that's not covered in this video with you. Typically I get asked about the cost and the process of obtaining your private pilot license, and also what differentiates us from other flight schools here in the Middle Tennessee area. First question, cost. So how much is this going to cost me? Typically it's going to be between $13,000 and $15,000. That is largely driven by the aircraft choice that you use for training. So we have a pretty diverse fleet of Cessnas, a Diamond, DA-40, and a lineup of Cirrus aircraft. So you're going to spend for the Cessnas, we've got 150s and 172s. That ranges from $13,000 to $15,000. The Diamond is around $18,000. The Cirrus is $25,000. So that's going to be the biggest chunk of the training. A lot of the costs you have some control over. It's driven by your active participation in the learning process. We give you every opportunity through our process to actively participate, but staying engaged outside of your actual lesson is key to success. We do see a lot of customers who come in and they haven't done any preparation. They don't know the terminology that you're going to work on, and that's where you end up spending a lot of money. We can spoon feed it to you. We're happy to do that as well. But if you're trying to save money, showing up prepared and being engaged and proactive about the learning and taking responsibility for the learning yourself is really going to help you save some money in the long run. Be a frequent flyer. So you're training your brain to do something totally new that you've never done before, and that involves muscle memory. You're training yourself to fly an airplane. It's the same as learning a golf swing. The more frequently you do it, the faster you're going to pick it up and the faster you're going to lock it in. So my recommendation sweet spot around 2 to 3 times per week to fly. Not everyone's financial or time budget can support that. I understand that. So I put a minimum of 1 time per week. If you can't commit to financially or time-wise once per week, my suggestion is to hold off until you can. Otherwise, you're going to be spending good money after bad trying to keep up with it, where if you go a week or 2 without flying, you're going to end up spending that next lesson relearning everything that you've learned in the past. And that's where I see a lot of people burn out in flight training and get frustrated and move on from it. So recommendation, 1 time per week as far as flying goes. The timeline, how long does it take to do this? So everything's at your own pace. We're a Part 61 flight school, which affords us the flexibility to do this at your own pace. You pay as you go, so you pay per lesson. You don't pay that $13,000 to $15,000 all front. It's just kind of as you go, and the average time it takes is around 10 to 16 months on average. That's going to be if you were to train 1 to 2 times per week. Speaking personally, I did it when I was in corporate America. I did it 1 time per week. I flew 1 time per week, and I finished in about a year or so. So that gives you some idea of the time. Process, well, how does this work? So from where I am to finishing my training, introductory flight, or what we call discovery flights, the typical first step, if you've already done one with another flight school, or you grew up with flying, you want to do this. You don't have to do this, it's optional, but it's a chance for you to kind of see, is this something I want to invest further time and money into? We have a discovery flight available in our Cessna, Diamond, and Cirrus. Those are flat rates of 130, 150, and 250. And what it is, you meet at the airport, your instructor has the airplane ready, you guys get in the airplane, and it's a little over half an hour. You take off from the airport, take a lap or 2 around downtown over the Titan Stadium, and just kind of, you get the flight controls, and you get to get a sense for what it feels like, the sensation of flying. Most people catch the aviation bug and they want to move on in the process, but some people, it scares them or makes them sick, and they decide it's not for them, and that's fine too. But the next step of the process would be an intake meeting. That's a meeting here in our office with me, where we go over any outstanding questions that you still may have. We get your documentation on file, your driver's license, etc., paperwork. We give you a login into our online scheduling system so that you can book your own lessons with your instructor. And then the enrollment fee. The enrollment fee is $295, and that includes everything that you need resource-wise, material-wise, study-wise to get you through your license. That's going to include an array of books that you can use to study. It's going to include access to the Sporty's online learning platform, which gives you access to over 130 different videos that follow our syllabus in sequence. And that gives you the opportunity to watch the videos that correspond to your next flight. That way you have a flight instructor actually in an airplane demonstrating what you're going to do on the next flight, so that you have a really good sense of how to do what your instructor is going to show you hands-on. You also are able to read the material that the ground training or the flight training covers prior to getting there. So in my experience as a flight instructor, I've been doing this for over 4 years, and I've seen success by everybody learns a different way. So it can be through visual learning, through videos, hands-on, through actual flying, and some people just like to have it explained to them. Some people like to read out of a book. So the way that we attack it is all three different ways: through the videos, through actual flying, and through the books that we give you. And that's what the starter kit is. This $295 enrollment fee. It gives you everything that you need for the greatest chance of success, so that you can get through this as cost effectively as possible and as safely and proficiently as possible. And then from there, you just start flying. The process, I'll go over it real briefly, of getting your license. There's 3 phases. Phase 1 is your pre-solo phase. We teach you all the fundamentals of flying, how to handle an emergency, how to land the airplane. There's several maneuvers that you're responsible for knowing how to do for pre-solo and also for your check ride. And we basically teach you kind of the foundational stuff. Then that culminates in a solo, which is a lap or two in the pattern with your instructor not on board, where you actually demonstrate that you are capable of flying the airplane without your instructor right there. From there, you move into the cross-country phase, which is now that you know how to control the airplane, how do we navigate from A to B? That phase culminates in you being in the airplane by yourself and flying between 3 different airports, covering a span of 150 nautical miles or more. From there, phase 3 is kind of checking off some boxes. We're going to teach you how to get yourself out of a situation where you fly into a cloud. That's called instrument training. We're going to do some night flight training, and then you've got to build up some solo time as well. That all gets you ready for your check ride, which prior to your check ride, you have to pass the written test. The Sporty's online platform also has a written test prep section, which is worth its weight in gold. It's an online place where you can study for the written test, and you have to pass that written test prior to your check ride. Check ride is about a roughly 2, sometimes 2.5 hour oral examination or interview with the designated pilot examiner, and then roughly an hour and a half or so flight to get your, if that's satisfactory, then you get your license. So let's go into differentiators. What makes frequency change different than other flight schools here? So we use the syllabus. We have a written syllabus that you get, again, with the starter kit. That is the plan. It's the blueprint to get you through. If you're anything like me, you want to kind of know what's the plan. How are we going to get from start to finish on this? That syllabus is that very thing. Our instructors can take notes, can write notes in there about what you're doing well, what you need to work on for the next lesson. And that way, if an instructor were to leave, or maybe they weren't available on a day you need to fly, they can pass that book off. You can pass that book off to the next instructor. They can pick up right where you left off. And that's why we do it that way. We have a diverse fleet, everything from economy, our Cessna 150s, up to our premium options of Cirrus. So if you wanted to learn in an economy airplane or kind of a middle grade airplane and step up to the Cirrus eventually, if you know that's what you want to do, we can help you get there. If you wanted to do all of your flight training in the Cirrus, that's also an option. And we can certainly talk through how that might work and fit into what your goals are aviation-wise. We have instructors who care. So I pride myself on hiring instructors who have a heart of a teacher and truly are here to help their customers be successful. Unfortunately, our industry is set up such that in order to fly for the airlines or fly for any large companies, you have to have 1,500 flight hours. And this is the first job that instructors or pilots will take to get them to those minimums. Now that's all well and good, and I totally support anyone who's trying to do that career-wise, but I'm not going to bring anybody into our staff that isn't going to take care of their customers. This is a huge time and financial investment, and I want to make sure that we're taking care of people. So all of our instructors are here to help you succeed. Our pass rate is indicative of that. So our pass rate for the check ride, first time sending our students off to check rides is over 90%, and we have 2 Gold Seal instructors on staff. Communication. So we have obviously multiple airplanes with lots of moving parts in each one. So they're machines and they break down sometimes, but I, as the owner, do my best to give as much transparency and visibility as possible into what's going on maintenance wise, so that people know what to expect. And I think that's important in any business, but particularly in ours, where we have you're relying on an airplane and instructor to be available for you. And then we also have actively involved ownership. I am the ownership, and I am still actively teaching as a CFI, and I'm involved in every aspect of the business, and it's an open door. If you have questions or concerns or need advice on how to get to whatever your goals may be in aviation, I'm here for you. And those are all the kind of the differentiators for frequency change. If you need more proof, feel free to check out our Google reviews. We have several satisfied and happy customers who have gone through our program, and they've left their positive experiences online for you to read. That's all I've got. Hopefully we'll see you here in the skies soon, and we can take next steps. Have a great day.